Hello, my friends. Welcome back to part 3 of this leopard drawing that we are doing with a reference photo from Pixabay. And we are working on drafting film, which is, if you haven't seen the other previous videos, is a really cool surface for color pencils. It is translucent and is rapidly becoming one of my, probably my favorite surface to work in. So we'll just keep on going. I did notice as I was looking here on my thing, and I have talked about it before, how if you don't have enough layers, especially of the dark colors or black in particular, they do, the pigment seems to just magically disappear. I don't know where it goes. It's not like there's a tooth of this paper that it can fall down into, but it disappears. The little bugger, all that pigment just kind of goes away. And so occasionally when I will start, somehow I got a scratch mark there. When I sit down to start for the next day or the next time that I go to want to work, I'll just kind of take a look at things and see how the blacks are behaving. They get kind of, how do I describe what they get, how they get? They get, I don't want to say crystally, because that's not the right word at all, but they get blotchy, I guess, to where they kind of look like lots of little dots. It's weird. But anyway, it's purely because there's not enough pigment down, and you just need to kind of add a little bit more to it. And I can probably go through all of this and do that you know, off camera, because you probably don't need me to see me doing that. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to fill in here and maybe work up. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to put my glove on. I think that it's helping me keep my paper cleaner, at least in times when I don't have pigment down, where I'm just working over the top of the film with my hand itself. I feel like it does help a little bit, but it is the nature of this material that it does tend to get dirty sort of easily, because I don't know, it just because it does. But a kneaded eraser will take care of any smudges that you get on your paper very easily. So okay, so let me just pull out what I think I'm going to use. I think I'll be using burnt umber. I think I will be using Nougat, maybe Beaster, and Polychromos. And then I'm going to be using white, buff titanium, and brown ochre 10% in the Luminance. And then anything else that I need, I'll just grab and bring in as well. I have all my pencils still here on the table that I've been using, but I'm working on a couple of different projects. I'm going to erase now, so it'll be kind of loud. I have another project that I'm working on in between. I kind of want to show it to you because I'm really excited about it. In between when I film, because I can't film all the time, but I should have done this before. Sorry about that. I always kind of want to have a piece to play with and to work on. when I'm not filming, I need to have something. So it's probably going to be really zoomed in, really, really close. But that's what I've been working on for the last few days when I'm not filming for the Leopard. And I'm having so much fun with him. He's just a little cutie. I'm not sure if he's an owlet or full grown. He is a burrowing owl. I did get that much information. So anyway, I've been enjoying doing that one. So maybe we'll do an owl or something eventually too. Okay, so Cooper says hi and is barking at the mail lady. All right, let's see. Let's start with, this is the burnt umber, and I'm just gonna kind of fill in a little bit here. You can see that the black in areas here got a little faded, but I'm just gonna use this one to kind of come in there. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so let me do the brown ochre 10%. Get these in here. We've got all this kind of section here where the hairs are pretty thick and kind of well defined. I got to try and make them go in the same direction but not be parallel to each other. Twist that pencil as I go to try and keep the edge or the point on the lead as sharp as I can. And we might as well just kind of work our way up here. This is what I did before. I feel like that should be a spot, but it doesn't look like a spot. I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I got too much dark in there. I used too dark of a brown, I think. Okay, so this is those spots. And sometimes it's just crazy how it gets very, my brain just gets all like confused as to where I am. It's really stupid. Okay. So those are that. Why can't I figure this out? This is these. I feel like this happens a lot. These are those two. These are the bottom two. So maybe there is, you know what, I'm just going to go right in over it and we'll just cover it up with black when that time comes, because I can't. So the lines that I'm making now are more just kind of like dots of every which way, because that's kind of what it looks like to me in here. It's just stippled almost. Let's go up to these 4. We'll just work up. So I'm using sort of firm pressure to make these little dots because I want the texture of the pencil to come through. Basically, I can't, it's not enough to really feel, but when we go to put the other color on top, it should just glaze right over the top and leave the light color showing. And we maybe just a little bit on this side. And then we have to do this, but I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so the question is burnt umber the one that I want to use here? I'm gonna start, see, you just barely have to touch that pencil to the paper and it makes a mark. So again, always make sure that you're going in the direction of the hair. So now I am using super light pressure. We'll get this in here, then we'll get the black in, and then we'll go over it with whatever other color that we need, like maybe something a little bit more orangey. some more layers of color in there. Still the burnt umber. Let's try some Nougat. I think we're going to actually need dark sepia, which I didn't pull out, but I knew that I needed. So let's do the dark sepia. That's what we want. See how I feel about this before I tell you what it is. Might be too orange. Okay, I'm debating in my head. What are we gonna do here? Let's do some more Nougat under here. Because as I'm going to start working on the top of his nose. The top of his nose gets a lot more cool browns and a lot less warm. And to me, Nougat is a little less warm than some of the other browns. I'm going to put the black in because I need to, just because it helps me kind of figure out how this is looking. I kind of want to sharpen this. I'm going to use my sandpaper because the point is, it's still pretty sharp. I don't want to waste. But if I use sandpaper, all of a sudden that tip gets really, really sharp. Wipe it off on a towel or something so we don't get black dust all over everything. probably not going to do a whole lot of talking right here, so if you want to fast forward through this, I totally understand. Okay. I have a feeling that my dots are not going to go in the right spot, but I don't think it's super duper important, except that right now they look all spread out and weird. So I have to fix that for sure. What is going on here? I'm just not making them big enough or something. I don't know. This one, I know which one this one is. And I know that is correct. This one, they kind of all blend together, these three. And then there was another long one. There. And then we have some here. And if they don't go where they belong, we'll just make it up. We'll just add them. Because I'm not seeing what I want to see. Okay, so that's those two. I know I know those are right. We have a couple here, little ones. That was the big one. I've got these, but I haven't worked over here yet, so I don't want to put those in yet because I think I really don't want to accidentally pull the black where I don't want it to go. So we'll start there. But by putting that black in, it's painfully obvious how much darker and it's not orange, but it's definitely darker. So I think instead of glazing, I'm gonna just kind of work this in between. When you have a darker paper underneath instead of white, tan or gray, whatever, it makes it so much easier to see what you're doing. It's almost like working on toned tan paper when you put a light color down. I kind of think I should have just gone straight for doing it this way instead of trying to glaze it. But I think it'll be okay. And I'm also putting a little bit of this kind of around the black spots. I really find that if I almost try and get my eyes out of focus, like if I just kind of sit back and not really focus on the details and let my eyes kind of go a little bit out of focus, and I'm looking at the piece next to the reference photo, it really makes it clear, you know, of what I need to do as far as, what's the word I'm thinking of? Value, where I need to go darker. And it just seems to work well for me. Of course, it helps that I don't have my glasses on right now, too. So I can see what I'm doing when I sit up close. I can see actually better than I can with my glasses on, because I'm nearsighted. But if I sit back a little bit, all of a sudden things kind of get blurry a little bit, so it makes it easier to just see the shapes and the values instead of all the details. I still think that it needs a little bit of something else, so I'm gonna take this brown ochre. Yep, so brown ochre from the Luminance. We're gonna go over everything. Don't need a lot of pressure. Kind of fuzzes things out too and makes them look more furry, more hair-like, which is good. Try not to go over the black dots if you can. That's better. Okay. Okay, so let me do this part. Comes down to about here, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is the buff titanium. It's probably not as dark as I need it to be, but I can go over it with something else to kind of yellow it up, I think. So a little teeny tiny. That's about it, I think, for that. And then maybe I will use brown ochre 10%. I think I used something more yellowy on the other one. What did I use? I have this Naples Ochre. Could put a little bit of that in there. That works like that. Okay, then we'll go back to, did I put any? Yes, I did. I already put some dots there. So let's use the burnt umber like I did over here. Only I'm going to do it with dots as well. We've got these. I think I have to put this in here too. Sorry, back to that brown ochre 10%. Let's get that in here. And then this is that. This shape I drew in is really weird. I don't think that's correct, but that's okay. We can fix that. So this gets a little bit of hair marking. Okay, we'll go back to burnt umber. This is dots. I'm covering over my mark, so I'm not going to be able to see where my black dots go. Let's get those in there. I think it's okay to do those now. I'm just going to do it. It's a little early. Hopefully I won't mess it up. But this one needs to get done just to help me know what I'm doing, where I am. They kind of act as little markers. These are all kind of tight and close together. And then these. Those will be fine. Maybe bigger. No, these are the little ones. These are the bigger ones. Okay, back to burnt umber. Actually, let's do a little bit more of this brown ochre, 10%. brown ochre, full brown ochre. Kind of glazed over the top. I'm not putting very much pressure on here at all. Okay, so let's go back to this. That's going to be black. You can already see the black. If even the little bit of it, even the slightest little bit of that black gets on your pencil, it's just really easy to pull that color in, which we don't want. Okay, what do I want? I want burnt umber, Polychromos. Then we're going to have our black sharpening. We're going to have our black come down here. I'm not going to go crazy yet. I just kind of want to get a little bit in so I can know what I'm doing. You know, sometimes I just have to block things in. Okay, so up here. Probably don't want to add that yet. Again, I got to be careful about putting black down first. All right, I might try this ivory Polychromos. It seems like a better color for this blonde hair here. Okay, then we have my drawing was really bad here, so I know that this is this. And then we should have some black that comes down here, which puts hair all in here. Just seems so big compared to the reference photo. All right, I'm going to go back to brown ochre 10%. I'm going to get this up here just so that I can put the black in. All right, let's do the black. I did the weirdest shape on this one, and I don't know why. Because it actually goes like that. Just feather that lightly into. Okay, this. Why did I do that? I drew that line with my pencil, and I really should not have, because we don't want solid lines going down. Okay, so here's our it's almost like three different dots here, but I did not fill that in well enough. Okay. All right, I'm going to use some Luminance Burnt Ochre. Some dark sepia. This is going right in between the little hairlines. And then here I'm going to do little dots, little tiny lines that are almost like little dots. And I think I need to add some more over here too. And I think we're going to have to go darker in here as well. Okay, back to the Burnt Umber Polychromos. We need a little bit of Naples Ochre Luminance. And back to Burnt Umber. Brown ochre and burnt umber. I've got both of these in my hand. I think that'll do it. Black. We might need to slice. I'm thinking that we're going to need to do a little. A little bit of the slice tool right in here. Okay. Let's do a little bit more. I'm kind of wondering if I use dark sepia instead of black. Kind of like that. You know, on top of the black, not really instead of, but this needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, that feels not bad. Let's do under the eye here. We'll use buff titanium for that, I think. And I kind of want to use dark sepia instead of black. I don't know why, but I just do. So I can always use black and darken it up if I change my mind, but and then maybe even a little bit, just a touch. Okay. All right. We need, let's do a little bit of the brown ochre 10% in here. I think still the raw, still burnt umber, because it's still pretty warm right in here. And then brown ochre over the top. just want to use my... So that should have ended. Maybe that needed to be a little bit longer. I think I need to go a little bit bigger on this bit right here. Because it... maybe not. But maybe. Let's just do a few more of these. Probably. Okay. I'm going to switch to the Nougat. This part is the little bit more difficult part. I don't know why. I just feel like it is. Okay, so this... going to go right in through there, I think. Okay, so this is kind of the dark, you know, the darker part, and then we get lighter up in here. Let's do this right here. Why? I don't know, just because. So we'll do same thing we've been doing. So brown ochre 10%. I'll go in here. It's a little heavier. This all has to get done pretty dark. And yeah, it's frustrating when my sketch that I do makes no sense. I look at it and go, what is that? Because the nose, oh, I'm going to have to look at that a little bit more closely maybe before I continue. Something looks weird, really weird to me about that. I mean, even the shape of the top of the nose I don't have right. I don't have this right. Let's assume this is right, and it would come up. Yeah, this is just weird. I might have to shut the camera off and redraw that because it just is weird. So this is the white, this white. That means if this is white, yeah, I'm gonna have to redraw that because I don't want to, I'm gonna totally mess that up if I don't. So better safe than sorry. Don't know why I did it that way, but I did. Let's just get some of this stuff in here. Yeah, that's bugging me. Okay. I think I am. I think I'm going to turn the camera off. Check my drawing, just try and redraw it properly, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I think I worked it out. It wasn't terribly off, So I think I've figured out what the problem was and all that. So yay. That just messes with my brain if it doesn't look right before I start working. So I guess we'll just work this area here first a little bit. And let's do some dark sepia. Now, this is all dark, like right up to where I did that. So let's put that in. I feel like I want another color in there, but I don't know what I want. Maybe we'll scratch it out. In this case, we probably could put the black parts in first. Actually, since it's so dark. I can figure out where they go. I think this was supposed to be this long one, and actually I think this comes out a little bit further. There's that big one. And we've got this, and we've got these that go here, and probably another one. And one here. Probably not safe to do those yet. All right, let's get this, go back to the sepia, dark sepia. Go ahead and use that. Enough. Burnt umber. Trying to follow the direction of the fur as best I can. it seems to do a lot of changing all in this area here. So again, I'm just kind of blocking, making sure that I know where the lightest areas of this are going to be, and then we'll just start building on what goes down here. I think I want to put in a little bit of brown ochre. More of the dark sepia, maybe. This is kind of where the parts start to blend. Go ahead and get the black in. There was another one right about here. Some tiny right there. Some tiny right here. And we'll worry about these later. And we have little ones in here. We're just going to do some. Okay. More dark umber polychromos. Sorry, burnt umber polychromos. We might slice out some color over here too. I'm not sure yet. I've been practicing, especially like on the owl that I was working on, trying to use the slice tool as little as possible, to not use it for every single thing that I want to have, you know, hair. And it's worked pretty well because I can use the light colors, the white, the titanium white, the burnt ochre. I can use those to get those hairs in without having to use the slice tool too much, which is good. All right, this down here, that's going to be yellow. We're going to have a little bit more of that. We're going to have a little bit of that here. Okay. I want to darken this. maybe with sepia, dark sepia. And then let's blend these two areas with the burnt ochre, burnt umber. Jeez, I can never remember the name of this one. And then I think I'm going to come in and erase on the back because I feel like I'm seeing some marks here that I can't tell if that's from what I did on top or coming in from underneath. I don't, that bugs me, so let's fix that. Try and do that so you can see what I'm doing. I've got this raised up. Okay, let's erase this. Can erase these. Actually, while we're here, we might as well erase. Okay. Let's get this back up. Okay. So that doesn't look too bad now. It was, although there's something right there. This is dark sepia. And I'm not sure what that is. Why is there that line there? I don't know. Okay, I think that's all right. Let's get this in here so that I don't screw it up. We've got a little bit of white. And then this is light. Right, this is the edge. This is the black. So I want to get that in. Okay, what have we got? We've got a little over 15 minutes to go, so maybe we'll just do what to do. No, let's keep working the top of the nose. Okay, so dark sepia. And this kind of looks to me like it's just mostly a solid bit of color, but I'm going to do it. I don't know how to do it. This might be too dark. Let's see what happens if I do this. I might need to find a different color. I don't know that that's the right color. I feel like I need something. I need it to be dark, but I need it to, I don't know. All right, let me just look real quick at what I've got in Luminance that might work. What if we do sepia or French gray there instead. I don't know that I need to take this out, but I might take a little bit of it out. Okay, so we have somewhere here I have my sepia and I have French gray, but I don't know if I have that out. Okay, bear with me. I figure this out. Yep, it's out. I just have to find it. French gray, where are you? Okay, French gray, Luminance French gray. Let's see what this looks like. This may take a little while to kind of get it the way I want, but I think it's good. Okay, now I'm confused myself again because I don't know what that little line is there. Let's see. I think that's a good color though. Yeah, I do like that color. Now the question is, before I get too far over, is will this be able to pull out? I think it will. If we get this dark enough, we'll just pull out some of those little hairs with the slice tool. All right, we're gonna feather this in here. We might layer another color on top. Is there something about this still that I'm not crazy about? But it's not terrible. Let's go ahead and bring this over to the area that we kind of marked off as being the darkest areas. I'm gonna do little dots in here. Okay, and it actually does come all the way over here, so I like it for down here, but maybe not up higher. I don't know. I did think that this was going to be a little bit more challenging. Let's go back to the dark sepia. I'm going to put this in with I think we're running out of time too. Okay. That just feels too dark. Every time I put that dark sepia in, I go, nope, that was a mistake. The French gray is not. I'm going to switch to sepia. Let's try that. So Luminance sepia. That's not it either. This is hard. Blend this a little bit. Let me keep going with this for a little bit here and see. All right, I might come up here and start working down, because maybe that will help me figure out what colors to use. So right now I'm not happy, and I have to make sure that I have enough color down on here. I don't want to be too light on the amount of layers that I wind up using, because you really need yeah, we want it to be fully saturated with color. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and keep going until I get at least this nose done. So however long that takes, it's going to take. All right, so I'm putting the brown ochre 10% in right here on the top of the nose. One of the things that I like about doing this stuff is it's almost like it's a puzzle. Like it's a problem that I need to solve. What do I need? What colors do I need to use? How can I do this and get the look that I want? It's like a challenge. Things are feeling weird again, and that's just so from the top of the nose to that kind of darkish line. All right, I'm not too far off. We can make that a little bit darker, so I guess we're doing okay. And then the top of the nose to kind of the top of the, all right, we're doing okay. It's just, that's why I'm kind of grateful for that proportional divider, because sometimes things look wrong and they're not wrong. Just curious, just bear with me for a second. I wanted to see if I could lighten this up a little bit more. Which I think I will be able to, so that's good. All right, back to this. I might want to try and put it in a little bit heavier right in here, because I want it to stay nice and light. And then this down here, we'll do in white. And when it gets glazed over the top with different colors, that will tone down some of that a little bit. Okay, this is white right there. Okay, back to which color we're going to use. I'm going to sharpen this. Let's keep trying with this sepia. The problem that I'm having is I feel like the sepia is too, I don't want to call it purple. It's not purple. But it's not dirty. Castle Earth's going to be too warm. I felt like the French gray was too gray. Raw Umber is going to be too green. I think this is just, we're just going to have to, let me do one more check and see if there's anything in my Derwent drawing. Or even Coloursoft. Okay, there's a color in Coloursoft, Derwent Coloursoft. I just want to look and see. It is just called brown. And if you don't have these, just keep going with what we've been doing. But I do want to see what this looks like. It's still not quite, I don't know, I'm tempted. Maybe I'll pull out the, oh, there's also dark brown in the Derwent drawing. That might be too dark. I'm just going to keep going with this. How close to sepia is it? Maybe it's just pointless for me to even use it. This is why I have an addiction to color pencils, because there's always that one color that you don't have that you need. So I just figure in my warped brain, I figure the more colors I have, the better. All right, I'm going to continue using the dark brown in the Coloursoft, but if you're doing this, if you're coloring along, drawing along with me, and you don't have these, just use your sepia. Just keep using your sepia. These are nice and soft, so they do make marks really, really easily. Okay, this needs to be a little bit, we'll put this on and then we'll do even a little bit more of the warm colors in here. curious. It always fascinates me how easy the marks go onto the paper, onto the film. It's just so nice. I think we'll glaze some other colors in here too. Okay, so far so good. I'm happy with how this is looking. Kind of want to make that a little bit more solid right there. That's not bad. Kind of curious. Yeah, that's good. What am I going to... I'm wondering if I should have added something else first before I started doing this. But not that. That's too late. And if we glaze over the top, how does that look? Not bad. We'll want to do that over here, but not so much. I'm kind of experimenting, so bear with me for a sec. Yeah, I think just dotting in all the different colors, blending them together that way, feels like the best way to go. Okay, I'm going to pull that Derwent Coloursoft over here. This is the brownest part of the nose. Yep. And then this all gets a little bit warmer. Bit darker in here. Come in with some darker stuff there. All right, I think that what I'm going to do is switch this to, double time and just kind of speed through getting the color in on the nose because it's a little kind of, I don't want to say monotonous, but I'm not really doing anything brilliant other than making dots. So I'll do that, we'll speed through it, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, I think I'm a glutton for punishment, and I think I'm going to bring the dark sepia in again. Even though every time I put it in here, I say it's too dark. But I feel like it needs it on these outer edges. I don't know if this is right to do or not, so don't do it if you're just glazing a little bit of this brown ochre over the top. There's a lot of details now that are... Okay, so here's our little line. We're going to have a little dark, and a little dark. Okay, so that's there. We should have a little dark one here, and here. And it looks wrong because we're not finished yet. You know, like this is the edge where the black goes. I probably came out too far over here. In fact, I did. So let's see if we can't get that off. I just love how beautifully it erases. It's just... Okay, and I need my... I have so many pencils down here. I can't find what I need. Let's just put that back in there. Okay, and then we have... this still has a little ways to go yet, I think. And I think that's too orangey. Let's see. Let's see, I have a longer version of this one here somewhere so that I'm not, there it is. All right, let's do a little bit of our, and then coming up here, we've got hairs that actually show. And then we've got burnt umber coming down in here. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do the brown ochre. That seems to be okay right here. And then a little bit of burnt umber. Let's start with dark sepia and then darken it with black if we want to. I'm going to put my black marks in right now because we're not using a light color, so it won't matter. I'm only going down to here. Okay, so now, let's see, we need our black. It kind of fades to kind of grayish. And then we'll do our burnt umber. Just a few more. Brown ochre. That's kind of the edge of the face. And then this part. No, I want, what's this called? Buff titanium. Buff titanium. Gonna get that all the way down here. Then we're gonna wrap up. I kind of would love to get the nose done, but I think we're already at almost, I don't know, I think we're pretty overdue to stop this. I want to keep going. You know how you want to get to like a spot that makes sense to like stop and have it look right. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. Oh, there's one more little. Okay, so burnt umber. It comes all the way down to where the black of the whisker things start. I wonder if we were to slice some stuff out there, how's that gonna look? There's not a whole lot of color down here yet though. That's my fear, is that I haven't really put a lot of pigment on here yet. What we may do is put some textured paper behind there and add our light whisker bits without using the slice tool. It's hard to say just yet though, because There's still a ways to go yet, but it's pretty good. Just a pretty good stopping point, I think. This should all, actually, I can't stop yet. I just can't. This all gets blended out a little bit. It gets a little bit messier. Lines are kind of long. Because it's dark. This is what I mean by I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and work. And sometimes even if my neck hurts or whatever, if I'm not in a good stopping place, I find it really hard to stop. That's a little bit better. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we'll stop there. And we'll keep going on the next video. There is some more work that has to be done on the top of this nose. It's still too light. And I may just do that off screen, you know, because I'm not doing anything that I'm not doing right now. And I think you guys get the gist of, it's just stippling. It's just dotting the color in until I get it to where I think it looks like the photo. Although I hate to do stuff off camera, just in case anybody out there wants to actually see what it is I'm doing. I'm so close to getting it the way I want it though, so maybe I'll just keep doing it right now. It's just building up those layers, get a few little dots in this light section because it's okay. I'm gonna stop for now, and we'll get this one loaded up for Friday, day after Thanksgiving, and then we'll keep going. I'm anxious to get the nose done because that's gonna kind of like pull the whole thing together and pull the face together and make it look like it's supposed to, I think. Oh, see, she says as she continues to keep adding, because there really should be some lighter colored dots on here, and there really should be some darker hairs in here. And sometimes if I don't do them when I see them, I get all excited as I get closer to finishing the piece, and then I forget. And I hate forgetting and not doing a piece. Not finishing it the way I want it to be finished. So took a tiny little bit of pigment out with the slice tool right there. I think I'll take a little bit of pigment out right there. All right, we're done for today, or at least for this video. I can't promise I'm done for today. I can only promise I'm done for this video. So hopefully, maybe you learned something new, some new techniques. I kind of learned some new techniques because I really hadn't done a stippling kind of thing before, but it just seemed like this, the top of this nose just called for it. So I like the way it looks. I like the texture that it's giving. So yeah. Okay, I'm done. I will see you guys on the next video. Until I see you again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Bye.